Woohoo! And we're live once again on another Tuesday and woohoo! Special International Women's Day edition today. Woohoo! And I've got Tiina with two eyes on you in the house today. And so this is so fun. This is so fun. So Tiina, we are talking about job search tips for international women. And we are international women. I'm coming from Las Vegas. You're coming from Brussels, Belgium. Wow. I love this. It's so global. It's so global. So, Tiina, before we get stuck in another international phrase from the Brits, can you just give us a little blurb on who you are, what you do, and then we'll just jump right in and start talking about our topic?
Hi, Gillian. So great to see you. Thanks for having me on the show again. So, hi everyone. My name is Tiina, and I work as a career strategy consultant, helping my clients to prepare for job interviews and to optimize their CVs.
Awesome.
And I'm passionate of helping international women finding jobs. Growing up, I saw how my own mother struggled finding a job when we moved from country to country, from Estonia to Sweden. And I saw what it did to her self confidence and what impact it had on the rest of the family. So I'm a firm believer that everyone can find their dream job and get it
I love it.
if you have the right mindset and actionable tools, everything becomes possible.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. And it's kind of like that word impossible. Just get rid of the im. The possible's right in there. And I love that you said it's a combination of mindset plus action. You need the two. You need the two. And that's so important. That's so important. So, Tiina, let's start off with what are some tips? What are some tips we can talk about?
So, LinkedIn is the world's largest networking and a recruitment tool. So, recruiters and headhunters are on LinkedIn, and there are over 800 million users. And there is a specific tool for headhunters and recruiters, and it's called Recruiter. And it's based on different data points. And the most important one is what you have filled in on your profile. So it's so important to have an optimized profile where you have filled in the specific skills. So one of the latest updates of LinkedIn is that you can take a quiz. So you find the right skills that you have to fill in on your profile. And LinkedIn says also that you have taken the test. So you will show up on my list with the candidates, but you will be on top of that.
Oh, wow. That's a huge benefit. Wow. Wow. And this is a new feature that's recently come out. I'm sure Kevin Turner's posted something on it. It's hard to keep up. There's just so many new features being rolled out right now. Now, is this a feature that's rolled out is this like one of those that's slowly rolling out, or has it gone out to everybody? Do you know?
It just came earlier this month, and before you could choose your own skills, and often people mistakenly put MS Word as their top skill. And I promise you, 99% of the people don't, your top skill is not Word. Or you really have to have the right keywords and skills which reflect your future dream job, not the jobs that you have done before, but where you want to go in the future. Because I can read from a profile what you have done before, but I don't know where you want to go. And I want to help you in that direction. So you can do that in the skill section, but also in the about section.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me just ask you real quick. So you can still pin your like top 3 skills to the top, correct? And that's kind of like when somebody comes to your profile and they might endorse you for a skill, or does that reflect back to you if people have endorsed people for skills, or if some of those skills are pinned? Do you see that or no?
I on the list of candidates, I just see that you have the word. It doesn't matter if it's in your headline, in the about
Okay.
section, or below in the skills. So only when I go through your profile, when I start reading about your skills and recommendations, then I can see it. But it's really a database. So
Okay.
just having the right keyword is so important.
I love it. I love it. And that's probably something that people are not really thinking about. They don't think about LinkedIn is a database, and that if you're here trying to get a job, you want to do the best that you can to show up. It's kind of like, how business people want to show up in the Google search results for their website. If you don't have the right words, you don't show up. It's not like Google goes, "Oh, she's nice. Let me put her to the top of the Google search results." It's always about what are the keywords, and that has to just show up. So I think that's really an important thing for people to get. It's the database, it's those keywords. They're really, really important. So so I know, like, as a business person, on my profile, it'll say you've been searched for, this many people. Is that recruiters? Is that just people typing things into LinkedIn? Do you know anything about that?
Well, the version that I'm using, it doesn't show that I have visited your page. So
Ah,
it's you don't have a clue if how many recruiters or headhunters have been on your page and why they didn't go ahead and reach out to you. So it's really a database, and it's getting more and more advanced every day. So you need to be on top of your game, and to get on top of my search list, there is another thing called based on your activity. So the most
oh,
important aspect is if you have followed the company page. So the dream job in which company you want to work, if you're following that company, you will automatically get on top of the search. Or if you previously have applied to any jobs in that company through LinkedIn in the past, that will
wow.
automatically put you on top of the list. So
Wow.
all those data points have been collected over the years, and they are used. But the most important one is called open to work, and that's
Okay.
only visible to recruiters who are paying the expensive version of Recruiter. So the Recruiter Lite or other people in your network, they will never be able to see that. So
Oh,
there you can choose which positions you're open to, which locations, and it's so advanced. The last couple of months, you can choose which hours of the day, if you want to work in the mornings, if you want to work remote. So and the location. So just by filling that in, you also will get on top of the on top of the list, and you won't come across as desperate because you fill in if you're actively applying to jobs or just open to have a conversation. So it doesn't have to be a red flag to your own company, but
mm,
just to put the direction where you want to go in the future, because not everyone wants to become a manager or a director. Maybe you want to go into a specialist position. So really having clarity on your own where you want to go and communicate that to others in a
love it.
discreet way.
Love it. Love it. So, since we're talking about international women, if you were somebody who is open to remote work, say I lived I used to live in Israel. So if I was open to work in different countries, maybe the UK, maybe Spain, there was certain countries that I didn't necessarily want to travel to, but I was open to working remotely with those companies. Is that can you choose areas that you're willing to work remotely?
Yes, yes. So you can
Okay.
choose the areas, but you can also choose cities, because in Belgium it's quite common that if you live in the second biggest city, that you don't want to work in Brussels, which is the biggest
Ah,
city. And if that's on the profile, I won't even waste your time contacting you for a position in Brussels. So there are people who are open to work anywhere in the world, but others who just want to stay in their city. So there you can really very effectively communicate your preferences.
I love it. I love it. And then just to clarify, open to work is not the same as that ring that
No.
was around your profile, because I know a lot of people were like, "I don't know. I don't know about that."
So that green ring is not database searchable. So it
Okay.
doesn't do you any favors at all. In my opinion, in most cases, I wouldn't put it on because it's not searchable, and this will show up for your whole network, and it it might not work in your favor later when you're in salary negotiation process. So I would find other ways to let my network know on one-on-one basis that I'm looking for a job, or I can
Mhm.
see it in your experience field as well. If your latest experience has a finishing date, then I know that you're probably available. But that ring is not very helpful,
Okay. Okay.
in
So
my opinion.
no, that's great, and I know a lot of people felt very self-conscious with that.
Yeah,
It felt like you were just kind of like, "Hi, I'm desperate. I need a job." And, I think on the one hand, I could see how it would be like, "Oh, a visual. Oh my goodness, they're a copywriter. I know they're looking for work. Now I'll remember it." But, I'm not a recruiter, so all it would be doing is maybe referrals or introductions or something along that line. So, okay. So, we have some comments. Is it okay if let's take a time out and go see what our visitors have to say? So we have the
sure.
lovely Jeff Young, who's always in the front row. We love Jeff. We love Jeff. Two of my favorite LinkedIn ladies on International Women's Day. I was going to say World Day. Um, 2022, Gillian and Tiina, this man is ready to support you all the way. And that's actually probably another international tip for women. There are men supporting you, there's women supporting you. Like that seems to be the theme of all the LinkedIn posts today, of all the men doing wonderful shout outs to all the women. And, I think John Asperian let someone take over his Twitter feed today. So I think it was Anna. And so, you just see all this wonderful support of men supporting women, but also women supporting women. I have seen so many wonderful shout outs to other women, and that is so key to finding work, is supporting each other. So I love that. Thank you, Jeff. Yay, we got G. Celebrating this special day with two amazing women, Gillian and Tiina. Woohoo! We love G.
Woo.
We love G. Tiina, which do you think is better, open to work with or without the frame? I think we did that. So thanks. We already so
Without the frame, yeah.
without the frame. Get it in the database. Get it in the database. I had to show up today for the two of you. Hello, ladies. And she's showing up late at night. We got to give her credit because it's very late right now where she is.
Thank
So
you.
thank you very much. We appreciate that. Okay. Thank you. Much appreciated. Continue best to all. So, Tiina, here's another example of this. Maybe is a teachable moment for a tip. Does maybe it doesn't necessarily show up in the database, but as a recruiter, would you suggest that somebody has their profile set to public so that we can see them on these kind of events, or it doesn't really matter as a recruiter?
Well, I would suggest that you have a profile picture, because it's one of the first 6 seconds when we see the profile, and when you can see the photo, it makes you more approachable. But it's not necessary in my field of job. So I would
Okay.
contact you anyway, but
Okay.
just for yourself, I would recommend that.
And this might actually just be the settings is
Yeah.
not set to show to public. So that always happens too. Thanks, Tina. Looks like you answered my question already. Tina, doesn't the ring help you show up first in the search results? So it has
No,
no effect.
it's another field that is invisible to the rest of the network. It's called open to work, but it's not the ring. It's just text, and that helps you get up on top of the
Okay.
list.
That's
Mhm.
that's great. That's great. Rebecca says, "Hey Tina and Gillian, lovely LinkedIn ladies." Thanks, Rebecca. She's so sweet. And by the way, her business, that's another international tip for women. Be knowledgeable. Like, like Rebecca's book bites. They're fabulous. Her business book bites. I'm screwing up your hashtag. I'm so sorry. Type it in so everybody can follow your hashtag. Brain gone. But being knowledgeable about your industry, that tip you just gave, Tina, about following companies affects how you do things, how you show up in the search results. That's gold. That's gold. I never knew that. So I think that's fabulous that that kind of information is out there. So woohoo. Um, we're going on 2 years of that crazy green frame debate. So yeah, G's on top of it. G's on top of it. And I think she just did not care for it. If I'm right, G, that was it. You did not care for it. I think G didn't recommend it either. Okay, it's about the settings. It's about the settings. So Jeff's on top of it, and he's going to help Philomena. And I hope I've pronounced her name right. And that gives me another tip. I asked you before we went live today, I said, what about the pronunciation feature? It's not going to go in the database, but is that helpful to a recruiter that if you were going to contact me about the job, would you want to know how I pronounce my name? Is this important or not?
I think it's a feature that has been around for a while, and people are not taking advantage of it. It's only available on your mobile phone, and it's 10 seconds, so it's really quick. And sometimes we think we have really easy names, but it's a worldwide platform, so it can be difficult for some people. So if you just put it in, that will be so helpful, so people can pronounce your name correctly. And I think it's so important to see that the person has made the effort, because if they want to, then they have the ability to get it right.
Got it. Got it. That's good. That's good. So here's a question. If I was currently not working, so I'm done with my last position, and maybe for this last 6 months, I have been doing a little bit of contract work and, maybe just doing, it's not full time, it's like some freelance stuff. Should I make that its own experience, and should I give it a company profile so I don't show up as a gray box? The sort of, I don't even know if they're gray boxes now, they're blue boxes. They keep changing. How important is that to have the blank boxes and for companies and stuff?
I think it gives a much more professional first impression, and it takes just seconds or minutes to set it up. So it's really, really important. It doesn't cost anything. And if you have been doing a freelance job, it's really important to show which skills you have used, and if it's relevant for the next job. It's so important to have it there, because there will be questions in the interview. So what have you learned from there, and the achievements that you can
Mm.
show off. That is so important to start a conversation, to leave little cues so that people can ask the right questions.
Okay. Okay, that's good. So the skills are huge. The skills really go into the database, and that's what you're seeing about people. Is there other places like your about, your experience section? Are those skills showing up in the database too?
Yes, yes. It doesn't discriminate where you have put it. It's just important that you have the right skills. And if you don't know which are the right skills, take the test or look for 5 job descriptions of the ideal job that you want to have. And in the skills part, they're all listed, and you have to have the exact right wording because there are so many synonyms, but you have to have the right ones. So if there are 3 or 4 words for procurement, supply chain, purchasing, buying, if you don't have the right one, you might miss out. So,
Wow.
and in your own industry, you know which ones are the correct ones. So put them all there. Just because in your company it's called one thing, in the other companies the exact same thing can be called a different thing. So have the all of them on in your skills section
Wow,
to be
that's
found.
huge, and that really makes you, and I know Google keywords are sort of the same thing. It's like it's about what people are searching for, not what you think it's called. So that's really good. For you need to make sure you're using the right keywords, that you got the right match. So, wow, that's good. That's good. Okay, so we have a few more comments. Varsha, it's so helpful to pronounce the names right. I have my full name up there. That's good. And you can also use it to, like, if your name's Mary and it's like, oh, why would I ever need it? Everybody knows how to say Mary. The nice thing is that you can kind of use that time to, like, slip in a little bit about yourself, so it doesn't just have to be Gillian Whitney. It's like I can do something with it. So, and you can keep changing it. You can keep changing it. So that's like a neat little thing. Follow or connect with Rebecca Wilson if you're into books. She is, I love it with his acronyms. She's gold, gives others a lingering difference. It's so true. It's so true. She just loves that. She just loves that. So, what about cover story or profile video? Where does any of this fit in? Is it important? Is it not important? Where does that fit in as a recruiter for you for our international women and job tips?
I think video resumes are becoming more and more common nowadays. And
Okay.
people, I don't know anyone who feels comfortable on video, but you get more comfortable by going on video and doing videos. There is no other way around it. So, uh, often nowadays, companies want to see a short video about you. So, you need to prepare. And it's a skill that you have to train, and Gillian has the most wonderful tips how to do it, and it's so much about the mindset. And the most important thing, in my opinion, is to talk about, of course, about yourself, but in connection to the company. So
Mm,
more about the company, where you would see a good fit, and what you like about the company, what you've seen on the website. And it has to feel that it's a personalized video. If it's just a video where I was born, where I studied, you will lose the audience quite quickly. So there has to be a connection, and people want to see your energy, how you
mm,
sound like. That's the most important thing. So it's always about the audience
yep.
firsthand. When it comes to videos, when it comes to cover letters, always think about the audience and make a personalized input, or don't do it at all, because
Okay.
nobody wants to see a cover letter that's just copy paste.
Mm.
And what would be your tips for the videos? Because nowadays companies really want to see candidates on video interviews.
I would say get comfortable with the technology, practice, don't
Mm.
wait to the day of the interview. I always say continue to do stuff in a safe space. So, for instance, I've done these for you. I like to use Loom and I make quickie little videos like, oh, Tina, I just wanted to show you how to do this. And it's just a little video. Sometimes I screen share, sometimes it could be me talking. And then I send that to you. The more that I practice, the more that I'm comfortable using the technology. When it comes time for me to make a real video for a client or whatever, I'm comfortable. And like, even let's take an example of your birthday. The other day, it was your birthday, and I wanted to send you a message. So I picked up my phone, I did a video message on my phone, and I sent it to you as a private LinkedIn video, right? Now, you'll notice I captioned it. Why did I caption this video? Because I know you're not deaf. I know you're not hard of hearing. But here's why I do it. One day, somebody on the other end could be deaf or hard of hearing. So, or they could be in a place that they couldn't watch it. But the other thing is, I practice captioning my videos with you in case I blew it, whatever, do it in a safe space. So, and then you can show them what I sent you on the video.
Yay! At the end of the video was this postcard, and I was like, oh, this is the best and most considerate LinkedIn birthday video that I ever got, with you talking and with the subtitles, and then in the end also the card. So I really saw that you had made an effort, and I really, really appreciate it.
And that, thank you. And that I used CapCut for, because I'd done a video about CapCut. I can stick the link in, and it's a free app. Android, iPhone, anybody can use this app. It's a free app. And the fun thing is that at the end, I was able to insert a picture. They had music inside, so I practiced putting music at the very end. So again, these are the times where experiment, be creative, do it with a friend, because then when you want to go do it for real, you feel comfortable with the technology. I tell people that for, like, if you're going to be on a Zoom interview, get on Zoom yourself. Learn how the chat works. Learn where you're supposed to be looking at the camera. You don't want to look down. You want to look up. All these different things. Get your background figured out. Do all of this before, so that when it's the day, you're just like, I got this. I got this.
And I mean, if for a marketing job, you would have got the job immediately.
There you go.
I mean, it at least it would have put you on a really good position, because there are people who have taken digital marketing courses, but I can't see anywhere online that they have actually practiced it.
Mm.
And sending this really shows video skills, and because I often ask for the candidates to show the skills as well, and from marketing people, certain skills are expected, presentation skills. So you can't just come with the knowledge from the 90s. It really needs to be up to date, and testing the new technology, and with your friends, it's a safe space, and you could do it for any client very quickly.
Yes, I think it's great. Now, do people ever send you thank yous? Like, do they send you, even if it's not a video, do people send you thank you notes or follow up from, like, does that help too with the whole job search process? Is thanking you?
Any kind of follow-up, or when I ask a candidate, could you send me your CV, and they say, I will send it by the weekend, after the weekend. And when they send it on Thursday, on Friday, it gives me a clue that this person is interested. They are not looking for excuses to not do something, but they get it done. So every step of the way of the communication is important to me. So following up, any kind of messages that show that this person is motivated and interested, because it's easy to say I'm motivated, but your actions, they speak much louder.
I love that. I love that. And it kind of, if we circle back down, circle back around to the beginning, we said it's about mindset plus
Yeah.
action. And so that's like a perfect, brings it all back. You got to have the two things. So important. So we've reached our 30-minute mark. So before we end, and we say goodbye to everybody, could you just kind of leave us with like maybe your top tip or your top sage advice for folks on
What
our
I
topic?
mentioned is really about the mindset. The biggest part in the job search is keeping the mindset. And if you get a rejection, brush it off and start again, because it's very rarely about you. Don't take it personally. It's about the fit with the company and your background. If it wasn't a fit, don't take it personally. There are other companies. Just go into every interview with the mindset that this is the first one, and ace it. Every person you meet, hiring manager, HR, do it like it was the first interview, and give it your all, because it's not finished before the contract is signed.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
That's super. Okay, well, thank you very much, Tiina, for being here today. It was a fabulous topic on a fabulous day. So, International Women, we are hoping that this has supported you and helped you continue to pop questions in the comments. And Tiina and I will get on it and get them answered, because that's what we do. That's what we do. So, thank you very much. And we'll see you all back here next week. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.